Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello YouTubers and welcome back to my channel How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. I thought we'd do a simple fun one today. Very few colours, nice and simple. Picture of a big moon with a tree silhouetted going across it. Very effective if you want to hang one on the wall. I've stretched my paper. I've just put some masking fluid around the edges of the sun and where I do not want the rest of the sky paint to get into. Turquoise and French ultramarine. Plenty on. Remember, it will dry lighter, around about 20%. Bring it right up to the edge of your masking fluid. And then with some French ultramarine, turquoise and indigo, to darken the top. With a damp brush, help bring it further down so you have a smooth, soft transition. Then right at the top, French ultramarine, turquoise blue and sepia, just for a really dark part of the night sky. Just put a band in right along the top, soften the line in, working it down. Take some clean water. I'm just going to put some craters and stuff on here, but we're just going to add them softly, just here and there. It obviously won't be a perfect copy of the moon, but it will give you a really good idea. For those of you that are perfectionists, you could copy the moon. And I just want to take some, what should we use? This one, I think. Turquoise, French ultramarine and just a touch of sepia. I'm just going to drop this in, and I want this to be very, very, very pale. Softening it. And then we're going to let that dry. Okay, now that's relatively dry. I've removed the masking fluid from the bottom half, but left it on the moon because I really, really want that to be nice and crisp when I take it off. And I'm just applying some clean water to the bottom half. We will be glazing over this afterwards. Once again, French ultramarine and turquoise. And the board is set at a slight angle as I do want a little bit of downward drift. Soften some of this in, right up to the edge. Taking some paint out along where the moon meets the water. Darkening it up along the bottom. Indigo, French ultramarine and turquoise, just to make it really dark here. Don't mind getting plenty on. Damp brush and just bring it together. going to take out the shape of the moon, basically with a kitchen towel, just bringing its reflection down. And ultramarine, indigo and burnt umber, just to bring the dark of the sky into it, at the top into the water, just making it slightly darker than the sky. Softening it once again, and then we're going to allow that to dry. Okay, that's dry. What we're going to do is mix up the glaze. So I'm getting plenty of water into it, just a couple of empty dividers in my daisy palette, almost right up to the top. Then I'm going to take some of the French ultramarine and turquoise, and we're just going to make a thin wash up, or a couple of thin washes up, just to make sure we have enough. I think we will. With a damp brush, soak up some of your glaze and start from the top, catching the bottom of the other deposit of paint with the largest brush you have, with as few strokes as you can get away with. Bring it all the way down over the painting. There's a little bit more on the moon there, I think. Obviously you've removed the masking fluid. I may have forgotten to mention that. Touch more strength in the bottom there. Taking your tissue paper once again, or your kitchen towel, just take out the reflection where the moon is. And I just want to take some of the stronger colour . Soften it into the glaze, and then we're going to allow this to dry. Now that everything's dry, I'm just going to put some water on this tree just to help with the flow of paint. Taking some of my turquoise French ultramarine with indigo and some burnt umber just to make a real dark. Just going to drop this in, start to make the shape of our tree. I don't want to make the edges of the tree raggedy, just create something that looks old and very gnarly. Moving to my rigger brush. Bring it over and into the moon. This will allow it all to stand out. I'm just going to turn the board round. We do need a little bit of land in it. Bit of undergrowth here maybe. Just take my mop brush, break it open, make sure it's nice and dry. Just tap some foliage in. And next to the very pale blue of the moon, these will really stand out. To run a line of water very close and just touch the wet paint very gently. I don't want to create a full shadow, I just want a little bit of mystery there as well. As the light from the moon comes across, softening the edge. A little bit extra where the tree trunk is. And then we're going to let that dry. Now that your painting is perfectly dry, there's one or two things to do to it before we can finish it. I'm going to put some wind streaks in along through the shadows, through the reflections here, using a craft knife and a ruler, making sure you get them straight. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe. Clicking the like button does actually help with the algorithm that YouTube run. So now you get round to the really best bits. This is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you.